It's hard to be a girl's girl in a daddy's world. It's even harder to be a girl's girl in a daddy's world full of daddy's girls who are traumatized by their fathers. Hey, it's your girl Nay. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're true here, welcome back. Happy to have you. Grab a snack, have a seat. We got some things to talk about. For today's topic, there is a lot of dating advice going around, and there are also a lot of people who have issues with it. I'm noticing there's a lot more people, specifically women, there's a lot more women who have issues with other women giving dating advice. And I'm realizing the same energy isn't given to men who are given the dating advice. I actually see a lot more men on social media, specifically TikTok, that have a lot more advice and lives in which women are coming and saying, oh, this is my experience. What do you think? And a lot of them are not teaching how to level up in dating. They're just saying, oh, stop messing with that man. Stop doing this. Ladies, stop doing this. Stop doing that. And that drives home a large point for me. A lot of women are still male-centered. Women are constantly pinning themselves against other women. And therefore, when you see a woman who's doing better, experiencing better, and telling you this is what she does to do this, and so therefore she's going to give you the same advice that works for her, how dare she? Of course, we know Shira 7 is very popular, but also we know that she's very hated. She's hated amongst women and men alike. They say that she's teaching people how to be gold diggers. She's telling women that they can't be themselves, that you should wear makeup, you should date outside of your type, only focus on men who have money and have means to have a lavish lifestyle. And then there's women like Ashley Dalton who are also sharing level up advice. However, it's dating advice, but it's not so much how to date. It's more so how to level up, at least from what I've seen. I'm noticing women going on her lives to try and attack her, and I'm also noticing women making think pieces. I get it, topics are running slow, you don't really know what to talk about, and that's no shade to anybody, no shade, no tea. I think this is right up my alley, and it has a lot to do with what I already talk about, so here's my 2 cents. I'm noticing a lot of women's talking points is surrounded by the fact that these women are potentially not married. Specifically, Ashley Dalton is not married. I believe Kendra G is not married. I don't really follow Kendra G's socials like that, but I have seen a few of her videos, and she seems to be more of a matchmaker. The attack on women giving dating advice when they aren't married is peculiar to me. That's strange. Why? If you're looking for marriage advice, simply seek out marriage experts. My take on it is that it is not problematic for an unmarried woman to give dating advice, specifically dating advice not pertaining to how to get married. If your approach to dating is you simply want to have a better experience, you want to attain better men, therefore better experiences in dating, why do you need to be married to do that? Now, if your end goal is marriage, then yes, you should seek a dating coach who is married if they are trying to give the end goal of marriage. But not everyone wants to get married. There's actually way more women than there used to be who don't want to get married and don't want to have children, but they do want to date here and there. Everyone wants to have better life experiences. There's nothing wrong with that. So I don't see it innately problematic for an unmarried woman to give dating advice. It's strange that women are willing to take advice from unmarried men on how to approach men or how to deal with men, but an unmarried woman, she doesn't have the credentials. Have we learned nothing from Derrick Jackson? I'm just asking. It's a question. But women who are male-centered believe they must be chosen and kept by a man. A lot of us call them the pick-me's. However, women who are not pick-me's understand that we're the one doing the picking. A man can only deal with the woman who chooses to deal with him. He can only marry the woman who chooses to be with him. Based on our selections is when they determine who they can marry. That's why most men do not marry their dream girl. They only marry the woman who is next to them at the time that they are ready for marriage. I'm a divorced mother of 2. I've been casually dating simply because I'm not looking for my husband because I just came out of a marriage less than 2 years ago. Everyone's assignment is different. Everyone's approach is different. You guys seem to deem singlehood as a disqualification. Again, I understand. If your goal is marriage, if your goal is long-term commitment, then my advice as your casual dater may not render as qualifying for you. As soon as a man says, ladies know your worth, women swoon. But let a woman tell you it, oh, she's not even married. Here's the thing about wanting to learn from married women specifically, especially when you're talking about dating. Married women, especially married women who have been married for a long time, 10, 20 years and up, are better qualified for telling you how to keep a man, although we should know by now the only kind of man that can be kept is the one that wants to be kept. However, if you are seeking dating advice from a married woman who's been married for a long time, she has not been in the dating world of 2025 in recent years. So she can't really tell you how to date in today's modern times. What a married woman probably can tell you is how to respect yourself, how to prioritize yourself, and these are the things that led me down the aisle. As we can see, no shade, no tea, again, coming from a former married woman, marriage is no longer the trophy that it used to be. Technically, back then, marriage was never the trophy because a lot of our grandmothers pulled us to the side and said, don't you ever depend on a man. Don't ever put yourself in my position. Have what you need to have it for yourself. I don't care if you got to stack pennies each week. Stack it, because you never know. When you give a man too much power, your life is literally in his hands. A lot of us got that advice. But for those who are traditional and you want marriage, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, I used to be married. Without giving up too much of my personal life, at the end of the day, my husband was embarrassing me. After I was married, I was in Home Depot looking for something. A handsome man approached me. He seemed to be in his late 40s, early 50s. He had the nice salt and pepper beard. He was physically fit. He was handsome in the face. He had a low cut, muscles, my type in a physical man. I was walking away. He called me back to him. He asked me if I was single. I said yes. I asked him if he's single. He said yes. He said, take my number. We spoke the very next day. He asked me about what I was looking for, if everything worked out. I said yes. I asked him about his children. He asked me about mine. He had 3 grown daughters. If you had 3 grown daughters, I wonder if you've ever been married, especially because it was pretty obvious he was a little bit older than me. We had already set up to go to brunch on Thursday. I decided I was going to ask him about it then. And 2 days after getting my number, his wife calls me. Proof that these men are embarrassing. It is not a trophy. You cannot just take any advice from any woman just because she's married. In my personal perspective, me having been married and me now in the dating world gives me a well-rounded view and approach to my advice. But again, no matter what I want to put out there, no matter what I'm saying to you, you have the choice to participate or not participate in what I or anyone else is saying online. In my opinion, it's disproportionately levered towards men and their advice whenever it comes to dating advice. You guys don't check the criteria. You don't care whether he's married or not. You only care that he's a man and he's telling it like it is because he's a man. And again, a lot of them are pandering to women. And you have to be able to tell the difference between men who are just talking and men who are pandering. But the bigger take home is that you guys are not creating think pieces about those men, whether they're married or not. But when it comes to women, at this point, I don't see women like those are seeking credentials. I see it as internalized misogyny. Wisdom should be weighed by reflection, honesty, and being able to look back at your past and say, this is what I've learned. It's experience. Instead of asking if she's married, maybe we should ask, is she making sense? And if it doesn't ground you, if it doesn't feel like it resonates, exercise your right to move on. I'm still going to continue to be a girl's girl. If you're here to listen, learn, and share your experiences, my channel is for you. Thanks for picking up my FaceTime. I'll see you next time. I love you for watching.